The sports world didn't just pause, erupted the moment. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver stepped up to the microphone and did the unthinkable. He publicly defended Caitlin Clark with a message so sharp, so direct, so brutally honest that trolls across the internet went silent in disbelief. Cameras snapped. Reporters froze. Even WNBA executives looked stunned. Because Adam Silver doesn't speak unless the stakes are sky-high in today. They were volcanic. The room was already buzzing with tension. For weeks, trolls, critics, anonymous insiders, and jealous voices had been tearing Caitlin apart, mocking her success, minimizing her influence, questioning her character, and nitpicking her every move. The noise grew louder, uglier, more relentless. Everyone saw it. Nobody stopped it until Adam Silver did. He leaned into the mic.com, but furious beneath the surface. Enough is enough. Caitlin Clark has elevated basketball in ways this sport hasn't seen in decades. The attacks on her are not analysis, they're insecurity. They're noise, and they need to stop. The room exploded. Reporters jumped. Fans screamed. The internet detonated. But Silver wasn't finished. She has grown the game. She has brought millions of new fans. She has raised the bar for every level of competition. And anyone trying to tear her down should take a long look at what they are contributing. She deserves respect. The clip went viral, instantly millions of views in minutes. But behind the applause, behind the headlines, behind the commissioner's bold message, a storm was brewing because Silver didn't speak freely. He spoke because something much bigger was happening behind the scenes. And Caitlin Clark was about to learn the truth, long before Adam Silver shocked the sports world by publicly defending Caitlin Clark. A silent war had already been raging behind the scenes, one that no reporter fully understood and no fan had been allowed to see. Because Caitlin's rise wasn't just meteoric. It was disruptive, threatening, transformative in ways the establishment could never control. And the backlash she faced didn't simply appear out of nowhere. It grew from jealousy, insecurity, politics, and a shifting power structure that terrified traditionalists. From the moment Caitlin entered the WNBA, the landscape changed overnight. Arenas sold out. Broadcast ratings skyrocketed. Merchandise obliterated sales records. International attention flooded in. The league had never seen anything like her on. Neither had the NBA. But the louder the praise became, the louder the trolls grew. Some claimed she was overhyped. Some insisted she got everything handed to her. Accused her of stealing attention from veterans. And some simply couldn't handle a young woman commanding this much power. But it wasn't just trolls in dark basements making noise. There were analysts who resented her influence. Old guard basketball voices who couldn't stand seeing tradition rewritten. WNBA executives who feared losing control as her fan base exploded. Media personalities who realized their relevance was shrinking by the day. And then there were the anonymous accounts, the organized ones. The ones who coordinated smear campaigns. The ones who targeted her after every win. The ones who twisted every clip, every quote, every mistake into a weapon. Nobody knew where those accounts came from. But Adam Silver did. He had been watching for months, tracking patterns, tracing narratives, identifying the fingerprints of influence operations designed to undermine Caitlin's momentum. And the deeper he looked, the clearer it became. This wasn't just trolling. This was orchestration. Meanwhile, Caitlin was living a double reality in public. She smiled, signed autographs, lifted teammates, said the right things, carried expectations she didn't ask for, took criticism she didn't deserve. But in private, she was exhausted. The pressure crushed her chest at night. The negativity followed her into every arena. Her family was attacked. Her teammates were dragged into headlines they never wanted. Even her friends were targeted by online mobs. And no matter what she did, win, lose, play well, struggle, the noise never stopped. That noise became a weapon, and the league did nothing to stop it. That's when a quiet conversation took place, one that would become legendary later, but at the time was completely hidden from the public. Adam Silver invited Caitlyn to a private office in New York. No cameras, a press, no entourage, just the two of them. Caitlyn walked in holding everything inside: frustration, fear, confusion, anger, and Adam saw it immediately. The weight she carried wasn't normal. The attacks weren't normal. The league tension around her wasn't normal. He asked her a simple question: "Are you okay?" It was the first time someone in authority had asked her that. Caitlyn hesitated, then said the truth she had kept locked for months. "I don't think people want me here as much as they pretend." Adam didn't respond immediately. Instead, he opened a folder, one filled with reports, screenshots, analytics, media tracking systems, cyber harassment breakdowns. It showed exactly what Caitlyn suspected. She wasn't being criticized. She was being targeted. Coordinated negativity. Bots boosting anti-Clark posts. Anonymous accounts tied to certain groups. Essay-length hate messages repeating identical phrases. Comment brigades erupting after league meetings. Caitlyn felt sick. Why would anyone do this? She whispered. Adam looked her directly in the eyes. "'Cause you're changing the economics of sports faster than anyone in history." She didn't know whether to feel honored or terrified. And Adam wasn't done. "There are people who feel threatened by you," he said. "People who feel their influence slipping. People who want the sport to grow, but only on their terms. You broke their system." Caitlyn's breath trembled. "So they're trying to break me." Adam nodded slowly. "They tried, but I won't let them." That promise stayed with her. Even when the trolls returned louder, even when commentators went after her again, even when jealous voices took cheap shots, even when certain WNBA insiders questioned her attitude, defense, leadership, anything they could twist. She held on to that conversation because for the first time, someone powerful understood. But the turning point came last week. A coordinated attack hit Caitlyn on every platform. Fake rumors, edited clips, slanted narratives, anonymous quotes. It wasn't criticism, it was sabotage, and Adam Silver had evidence when he saw trolls using identical language pulled from a private internal document. When he realized the negativity wasn't random. When he understood someone with power was feeding these attacks, he snapped. He called a press conference. League officials begged him not to. Media advisors warned him. Executives panicked. Certain WNBA board members tried to stop him. He ignored them all. He stepped to the mic and said what every player, every fan, every rational human had been waiting to hear: enough is enough. But here's what the public doesn't know yet. Adam Silver didn't defend her to look good. He didn't defend her to earn clicks. He didn't defend her because she's trending. He defended her because the truth he uncovered behind the scenes was far darker than anyone realizes. And the moment he spoke, he didn't just shut down trolls. He declared war on the people secretly, targeting her. A war Caitlyn wasn't prepared for, a war that was about to explode. Because the trolls, they weren't trolls at all. They were connected, organized, funded, and Adam Silver's speech had just exposed their entire operation, triggering consequences that no one saw coming. The moment Adam Silver's speech hit the airwaves, the entire sports ecosystem didn't just react, it fractured. Like a glass window hit by a bullet. The NBA applauded. WNBA players whispered. Executives panicked. Owners were furious. And the secret network behind the anti-Caitlyn attacks, they went into full-blown defense mode. Because Adam Silver hadn't simply defended Caitlyn Clark. He had exposed something enormous without saying it directly. There was a coordinated effort to sabotage her. There was a system targeting her. There was a network benefiting from her downfall. Silver didn't reveal its details, but he didn't need to. Every person who had been manipulating narratives, planting hit pieces and manufacturing backlash against Caitlyn, suddenly realized Adam Silver had discovered them. And now, they were scrambling to hide the evidence. The backlash against Adam Silver BGNS within hours of the press conference. Anonymous insiders began attacking Silver himself. He's overstepping. He's interfering in WNBA affairs. He's protecting one player unfairly. He's fueling division. It was desperate, panicked, transparent. Then the WNBA league office released a cold, uncomfortable statement. Player conversations. Narratives and performance should be evaluated internally. External voices should not influence the operation of another league. Translation. Silver touched a nerve, a big one. Caitlyn saw it and felt chills. Why was the WNBA defending the Trolls? Why were they angry at Silver for defending her? Something was very, very wrong. Inside the locker room, pressure explodes that same afternoon. Caitlyn walked into practice and instantly felt the tension, a heavy, suffocating energy that wrapped around every conversation. Teammates were divided. Some approached her with quiet support. You deserved what he said. Don't let the Trolls win. Others avoided her entirely, silent, cold, conflicted, and a small group. They were fuming. Someone else whispered, "She already gets more attention than all of us. Now she gets the commissioner of another league defending her." The jealousy, raw, unfiltered, exposed, had reached a breaking point. Then a teammate finally said what some had been holding in. "Caitlyn, this isn't normal. Why does he care so much? What aren't you telling us?" Caitlyn froze. She had no answer, because she didn't even understand why Adam Silver stepped in so aggressively. But before she could respond, the assistant GM of the team stormed into the gym and said, "We need Caitlyn in the conference room now." Everyone stared. This wasn't normal. This wasn't routine. This was something else. The meeting that changed EVRY's Caitlyn walked into the conference room to find the team GM, a league representative, a lawyer she'd never met, and a man in a suit she didn't recognize. The atmosphere was ice. The GM folded her hands. "Caitlyn, Adam Silver's comments have created a political problem." Political. Protecting her from trolls was now political. The suit leaned forward. "Did you ask Adam Silver to intervene?" "No," she said immediately. "Did you meet with him privately?" Her heartbeat spiked. "Yes." The room stiffened. The league rep spoke sharply. "And what exactly did you discuss with him?" Caitlyn clenched her jaw. "He asked if I was okay. We talked about harassment. Nothing else." But the suit shook his head. "That's not what we've been told." Her stomach dropped. "What do you mean?" The league rep slid a document toward her, an anonymous email. Reported that Caitlyn had convinced Adam Silver to interfere in WNBA affairs and had been leveraging NBA influence to protect her image. It was a lie, a complete fabrication. But they weren't questioning the email, they were questioning her. "You need to release a statement distancing yourself from Silver," the rep said. Caitlyn choked. "I'm not going to betray someone who defended me." The GM's tone sharpened. "You don't understand the damage he caused." And then the suit delivered the first shocking twist. Adam Silver's involvement triggered an investigation. Not into the Trolls, into you. Caitlyn's blood ran cold. "Into me." He nodded grimly. "Someone filed a formal complaint accusing you of being the one coordinating harassment campaigns against other players." Caitlyn nearly collapsed. "What? That's insane. I've never done anything like that." But they weren't listening. They were reading from a script someone else had written. The league rep leaned forward. "Caitlyn, if Adam Silver retaliates on your behalf again, we will consider it interference." Her voice shook with rage. "So you're punishing me because he defended me?" Silence. And then the second shocking twist dropped. The man in the suit whispered, "Caitlyn, Adam Silver wasn't supposed to release that statement. It wasn't approved by the NBA board. He went rogue." She stared at him, breath gone. What are you saying? The man exhaled slowly. Adam Silver didn't defend you out of professionalism. He defended you out of fear. Fear of what? The man looked down as if even saying the words was dangerous. Then he said it, because he discovered that the harassment you've been receiving is coming from someone inside the WNBA. Caitlin's heart stopped. Inside, not random trolls, not jealous fans, not anonymous critics. Someone with access, someone with power, someone with influence. Her legs went weak. Who is it? She whispered. The suit swallowed. We don't know the full structure. We only know the code name of the account orchestrating the attacks. Caitlin braced herself. Code name. What? The man slid a card across the table. Just one word was printed on it. A name that made her entire world spin. A code name she recognized instantly. Code name that belonged to someone she had trusted. Someone who had praised her publicly to someone who sat courtside at her games. Someone who pretended to support her. Rise. And when she whispered the name out loud, the room went dead. Silent. Because the mastermind behind the troll network was someone no one dared accuse. Someone untouchable. Someone who should have been protecting the league, not tearing down its biggest star. The moment the truth left her lips, the door behind her opened, and the mastermind walked in. The second the mastermind stepped into the conference room, the air collapsed into a suffocating silence, so heavy, so electric, it felt like gravity itself shifted. Caitlin Clark didn't breathe, couldn't breathe, because she knew that silhouette instantly, knew that voice, knew the presence. This wasn't a rival, wasn't a coach, wasn't a teammate, wasn't even an executive. It was a media titan, the very person that WNBA trusted to grow the game. A national personality, a cultural commentator, a journalist with millions of followers, someone who built a brand pretending to empower women's sports, while secretly controlling the narratives that shaped it. The moment she stepped forward, smiling like nothing was wrong, Caitlin felt her stomach twist into knots. Hello? Caitlin, the mastermind said softly. We need to talk. The GM stood. The league rep stiffened. Even the lawyer swallowed hard, because this woman wasn't someone you challenged. She wasn't someone you exposed. She wasn't someone you crossed. She was someone who could end careers with a single tweet. And she was the person behind the smear network attacking Caitlin. The world finds out while the confrontation unfolded behind closed doors. The outside world plunged into chaos. Silver's speech had detonated across social media. But now, the fallout intensified. Every platform turned into a battlefield. Hashtag IST, and with Caitlin, hashtag exposed the troll mastermind. Hashtag Haas behind the harassment. Hashtag WNBA under fire. Millions demanded answers. Sports anchors debated in shouting matches. Podcast hosts lost their minds. Former players chimed in with cryptic "Be careful who you trust" posts. But the darkest shift happened in WNBA circles. Some teams privately blamed Caitlin for bringing the NBA into their business. Some players felt exposed, scared. The next troll wave would target them. Some owners demanded disciplinary action. Some executives panicked, deleting old emails and group chats. The league office, normally polished, composed, untouchable, was in a full-blown meltdown. What did Silver find? Who is leaking? How far does this go? Was Caitlin actually targeted internally? What if players revolt? Fear crept through every hallway. Envy turned into anger. Anger turned into suspicion. Suspicion turned into factions. Caitlin Clark had unintentionally triggered a league-wide civil war. Inside the room, the SHOWW, meanwhile, inside the conference room, the mastermind calmly set her purse down and folded her hands. I see Adam Silver has everyone frightened, she said with a smile. How dramatic. Caitlin stared at her, heart pounding. You stalked me. You spread lies about me. You leaked stories about Paige. You targeted my mom. The mastermind didn't blink. I shape narratives, she corrected. Narratives are the foundation of sports media. You wouldn't understand. Caitlyn's voice cracked into a mix of fury and disbelief. You humiliated me. You endangered my family. That was unfortunate, the mastermind replied, but necessary. The GM slammed a hand on the table. Necessary for what? The mastermind finally dropped her smile. For control. Silence. Ice tension coiled like a snake preparing to strike. You, she pointed at, Caitlyn, were becoming too powerful, too popular, too influential. You were shifting the gravitational center of the league, and that terrified people. Caitlyn felt her pulse in her throat. So you tried to break me? No, the mastermind said calmly. I tried to contain you. The league rep gasped. You admit you orchestrated the harassment. The mastermind shrugged, unfazed. Trolls are useful. Anonymous criticism gives us data. We saw who defended her, who didn't, who got jealous, who cracked under pressure. You can learn everything about a league by watching how they react to chaos. You used me as a test subject, Caitlyn whispered. You were the perfect test, the mastermind replied. When you ascended, the entire ecosystem shifted. That kind of influence must be mapped, monitored, controlled before it destabilizes everything. Caitlyn's eyes burned. You destroyed people's lives, Paige. My mother. Me. The mastermind leaned in. I made sure you didn't become bigger than the league. Adam Silver's voice echoed in Caitlyn's mind. They're afraid of you. And now she understood. Afraid wasn't strong enough. They were terrified. The leaked recording that shatters EVRY to changing. Every phone in the room vibrated simultaneously. A new leak. Video. Caitlyn grabbed her phone. The headline made her heart stop. Exclusive. Audio of media titan discussing plan to contain. Caitlin Clark. The mastermind's face went white. She whispered, No, this wasn't supposed to. The audio played automatically. Clark's popularity is uncontrollable. If we don't undermine her early, the league becomes the Caitlin Clark show. We must redirect public sentiment before she becomes too big to influence. Another clip? Use social pressure. Use rivalry narratives. Use her family if necessary. Another. Silver can't protect her forever. And as she breaks under scrutiny, it proves she was never stable enough to lead this league. Caitlyn felt physically sick. Her agent whispered, This is career-ending for her. The mastermind stood abruptly. Turn IT off. Turn IT off now. The GM shook her head in disbelief. You sabotaged the league. You sabotaged our players. You sabotaged her. Sabotaged our players. You sabotaged her. The mastermind screamed. Without me, you have no narratives, no ratings, no control. Security stormed into the room, but Caitlyn didn't move. She just stared at the woman who pretended to support her rise. While orchestrating her destruction, the mastermind pointed directly at Caitlyn, trembling with rage. This isn't over. You think Silver can save you? You think the league will back you? You think fans will stay loyal when the rest of the truth drops? The rest? Caitlyn echoed. The mastermind's lips curled into a devastating smile. You have nitrogen monoxide idea what's coming? They've only shown you phase 2, suddenly. The building lights shut off. Every phone went dark. Emergency. Alarms blared. Someone shouted from the hallway. The servers were breached. A new massive leak. Everything is out. Caitlyn's heart dropped. Everything. Which documents? Which recordings? Which secrets? The mastermind laughed a broken, manic sound. Oh, Caitlyn, they didn't just expose me. She stepped closer, eyes burning with something like victory. They exposed you. The alarms intensified. Security ran. Players screamed from down the hall. Caitlyn stared at the mastermind, frozen in terror, because she realized whatever leaked next wasn't just about the league, it was about her private life, her past, her relationships, her vulnerabilities, her secrets. And the mastermind whispered the final blow. They're coming for your legacy. The lights flickered back on Caitlin, saw her own face flashing across every phone screen in the room, followed by a headline that made her knees buckle. Breaking private files on Caitlin Clark leaked. This will change everything. Cliffhanger. Caitlin's ears rang as the headline flashed across every device in the room. Her stomach dropped so hard she thought the floor had disappeared beneath her. Private files on Caitlin. Clark leaked. This will change everything. The mastermind smirked a twisted, trembling expression of someone who knew the world was seconds away from shattering. Caitlin's hands shook violently as she tapped the notification. Her agent grabbed her wrist. No, don't open it yet. We don't know what they released. Lee. But she pulled away. She needed to know. She couldn't survive the suspense. The file loaded slowly, painfully, like a countdown to destruction. First page. A blurred photo of Caitlin in a private room. Crying, vulnerable, alone. She recognized the moment instantly. It was the night she thought about quitting. Only 5 people knew about that moment. Only one had been in the room, her mentor. Her voice cracked. You recorded everything, didn't you? The mastermind didn't deny it. Instead, she tilted her head. You were a gold mine. Your emotions were leverage. Your weakness was a story waiting to be told. Caitlin felt her throat tighten until she couldn't breathe. But this, the mastermind whispered. Tapping her phone, this is only the beginning. The file scrolled automatically. A second document appeared, a psychological evaluation ever meant for public eyes. Her fears, her insecurities, her mental health notes from college. All leaked. Caitlin gasped. Her knees buckled. Her agent caught her before she fell. This is illegal. This is sick, he shouted. The mastermind shrugged. Illegal. Maybe effective. Absolutely. Another file loaded. Voice recordings, her private conversations from years ago. Moments where she doubted herself. Confessions she made to friends. Raw, unfiltered vulnerability. Now blasted to the entire world. Caitlin covered her face. How did you get this? She cried. How did you access all of this? The mastermind stepped closer. You think I acted alone? You sweet, naive girl. Her smile widened, predatory, triumphant. This was a partnership. A cold wave ripped through Caitlin's body. Partnership. With who? Before the mastermind could answer, the building's emergency intercom crackled to life. Tension. All personnel evacuate immediately. A full-scale cyber breach is underway. All internal servers have been compromised. The room exploded into chaos. Executives ran in panic. Security barked orders. Phones buzzed with non-stop alerts. But Caitlin couldn't move because another notification appeared on her screen. Leak number 2. Internal WNBA messages about Caitlin Clark's role in the future of the league. The first message displayed was chilling. Plan is working. She's destabilized. Keep pressure on. Next phase begins once media breaks. The second, Clark can't be allowed this much influence. Coordinate distraction. The third, if Silver interferes again, release the backup files. Backup files. Caitlin's chest tightened. What backup files? What else do they have? The mastermind smiled softly. Everything. Another alert popped up. Leak number 3. WNBA owners' secret vote on player impact restrictions. A vote. About her. Not her salary. Not her playing time. Her influence. The vote summary flashed across the room. Clark's rise threatens league control. Implement measures to limit external influence, social dominance, and media leverage. Unanimous. Yes, 12-0. Caitlin's tears blurred her vision. They voted. To control me? The mastermind's voice sharpened. Not control, contain. She stepped closer. You were never supposed to surpass the system. You were supposed to fit neatly within it. Caitlin shook her head violently. No. I earned everything. I worked for everything. You can't twist me into something I'm not. Oh, Caitlin, the mastermind whispered, brushing past her. It was never about who you are. It was always about what you represent. The room lights flickered. An alarm wailed. A security guard burst in. We need to move Caitlin now. But before she could take a step, her phone buzzed again. A new file. A new leak. This one labeled Phase 4 Final Option. Her blood ran cold. She opened it with trembling fingers and froze. Inside was a contract termination draft. Not from her team. Not from the league. From the WNBA Players Association. A pre-written, ready-to-release statement due to recent controversies and destabilizing actions. Caitlin Clark will be placed under review for conduct detrimental to the league. Her voice broke completely. They're trying to end me. The mastermind leaned in. So? Close. Caitlin felt her breath. Not end you. Rewrite you. The gym echoed. With another emergency announcement. Catastrophic. Breach. Total data exposure. All files are public. Another message appeared on Caitlin's phone. This time from Adam Silver. Just 3 words. Don't trust anyone. Then another message came. From a blocked number she recognized instantly. The voice behind every warning. Caitlin, you're in danger. Meet me now. A location followed. Her heart stopped because the location wasn't random. It was the home address of the one person left she thought she could trust stand. The one person who might be the key to exposing the entire operation or destroying her completely. Caitlin looked up and saw the mastermind watching. Her smiling, waiting, as she whispered, choose carefully, Caitlin. Your life is about to change forever. Your life is about to change forever.